That go on, give us reasons to see this kind of stocks rallying. What kind of confidence has investors got? What does this mean?
Well, very clearly, this is continuing, and some of the factors that we are seeing, the immediate factors are, for example, robust gains in information technology stocks. Information technology stocks reflect uh, several key elements, including the fact that Infosys and TCS, like companies which employ hundreds and thousands of Indians, have done reasonably well in their most recent third quarter performance. That's one of the key factors. The second, therefore, is that all of corporate India's earnings are expected to be healthy the third quarter. That's feeding in. And the undertone is really bullish, Nabila. There is a certain momentum that we saw after the results of the state assembly elections and now leading into the Lok Sabha, which is feeding into the optimism that one, India's policy certainty, continuity is likely to remain, and second, economic growth will remain, inflation will remain under control. And that is, in some ways, as we know, just weeks ahead of the budget, also a factor that market participants are looking at. And globally, also, some of the worst news that was coming in through all of 2023, Nabila, including the fact that the United States had very high inflation along with other economies. Some of those pressures are tapering, and the whole debate about a recession in the world, which obviously would impact India, also not being so severe in terms of expectations. And that all of that coming in together in 2024 into kind of momentum that is translating on the markets. And if I may just say this, there's a certain Modi magic also that's at the undertone of all of this bullishness in the market.
I was in fact just about to ask you on those lines on the Modi magic, because we're seeing several surveys at least lately that show Prime Minister Modi to come back for a third term. And that's also led to this kind of investor confidence, we believe?
Absolutely, Nabila. And, the markets work on both technical factors, which have to do a lot with stocks, earnings, and the Indian market is a F&O market. That's a completely different thing. But the big macro picture is very bullish. And, Mark Mobius, one of the most famed market masters in the world, recently spoke about India. Other people are visiting. Ray Dalio, one of the most famed investors of all time in the world, has said that India will remain a top performing economy among all nations in the world. He, in fact, recently spoke about how India's lunar mission means that India's ascendancy is, it's India's moment. And when you have people like this who are very, very sort of specific on markets and fundamentals talking about India in this manner, obviously this is going to feed into this term of Modi magic, which is being used in the markets. Fiscally, look at what is happening around in our neighborhood, Nabila, and see the dire straits that even some parts of the Chinese economy are in. So that stability, it's not a political call, by the way, that investors are making. They look at multiple factors and they are saying, well, India is a place where you can go safely invest your money. The policy fundamentals are good, fiscal administration is good, monetary management is good, inflation is under control, massive infrastructure program is happening. And, all of them look at this, and some of them would not look at various other factors. But I know for a fact that a lot of people will say that the mood in India reflects the sense of positivity that is visible now on the markets.
Right. A quick final word on the two tycoons, the Ambanis and the Adanis. Both, in fact, have risen up the billionaires index of Bloomberg. Ambani there reclaiming his throne as Asia's richest man, a centi-billionaire.
Absolutely. And that was a trigger that was hit yesterday. We will also, earlier today, it was around $102 billion. We'll wait for market closing. But again, this is part of the broader thing that in Asia, if two Indians and with businesses in India are right up there in terms of market capitalization and consequent wealth, this again reflects the broader sense about how the Indian economy is going, because companies are actually the ones who produce value. people are the consumers, and the markets reflect the positiveness and the optimism going forward. So all of that is feeding into this very, very
Yeah.
healthy narrative ahead of the budget, Nabila.
All right. So, end point and a takeaway here, right time to invest in the stock market. Siddharth Zerabi there giving us all that information. Thanks, Siddharth, for joining us for now.
Wonderful. Bye-bye. Thank you.